What's going on, Switch leaders? Man, I love to be the bearer of great news, and that is that I believe that there is a very tangible, felt momentum taking place throughout our youth ministry, and even with us as leaders. And there's something so exciting about seeing both little things take place and big things take place, where it's just obvious that we're in the right season, that we have the right leaders, and that God is moving in and through us. I'll give you a couple of examples of just some incredible things that even in this past week have happened that I want you to know about. The first would be big shout out to our Cover 2 leaders. Cover 2 does everything they can to make us feel safe and secure by also connecting with students. And I got told by a staff member this past week that our Cover 2 is the best group of Cover 2 leaders they've ever seen, and they've been at multiple campuses. So if you see a person in a neon shirt, please make sure to high five them and tell them that they're doing a great job, because they are. We have students leading other students to take their next steps in following Jesus by serving and talking to them about what serving has meant to them, and then connecting them to serving. We have groups of students who are coming back to church who haven't been in a really long time, that were invited by their friends, and they didn't know if they would have a place to belong, but were met with love and with open arms. We've had leaders sitting down with parents talking about the difficulties of what's going on with their parents, their kids' life. Like, what do I do? How help me? And there's just so many different things that are happening that just suggest, again, that we are in the right seat on the bus, that things are happening and God is moving, and we get to play a part in that. And as we talked last week in Huddle, it's not about having perfect answers. It's about following Jesus. And as we follow Jesus, we set the example for our students. As they see us pursuing Jesus, they're going to go and do the exact same. And so I want to highlight a couple of quick things before I jump off here and we head into this incredible week. One, this week is a live speak at Switch. We are talking about the Holy Spirit. And so stepping into a place where there's been a lot of confusion, there's been a lot of misconstrued things before with the Holy Spirit, just like there could be anything else. And so as we step into this week to prepare our hearts and our minds, just again want to highlight in the Win in 10, you can look over the leader guide of where we're going, and then think and process through where you want to take your students, those of you who lead small groups. I am aware that weather could potentially get bad, and so be on the lookout from your team lead of any weather updates that you might need to know heading into this week, and we'll get that out to you as soon as we know something. We'll get with you. A couple other quick things is that one of my favorite parts of Wednesday nights has become post-leader huddle. Last week, we had well over 30 leaders stay after and celebrate all that God did. And not only were we celebrating what God did, but there was also leaders shouting other leaders out and talking about how they saw God use this leader. And I just think that's such a special thing that we should be able to do. And so from 8:50 to 9:05, if you find yourself available, man, I hope that you stop into post-leader huddle and check that out. And then the last thing that I'll leave you with is really kind of a two-parter. In the leader link last week, we added a difficult conversation segment that you could click on and find resources to help you have needed conversations, but conversations that maybe feel a little bit uncomfortable at first. And I want to highlight that again, and also highlight the Switch Leader podcast. Those are resources every single week that are updated for you to have new content and things to help you as a leader win. One of the things that we're going to talk about this week in Huddle is really important, is how do we as leaders make Switch a safe place? How do we make Switch a safe place for our parents? How do we make it safe for our students? And how do we make it safe for ourselves? And so I want to make sure that you know that this is a really important Huddle, and I hope that you're here if you're able to be at 6 o'clock and connect. We're going to celebrate even more things than we already have talked about in this video, but we're also going to go over some things that help us win as leaders, both present day and in the future moving forward. So I love you guys so much. Man, God is moving and He is working, and this isn't just some hypothetical thing we say to sound cool. Like, there is tangible evidence of God moving in our lives and in our students' lives, and we are in the right place at the right right time, and this community continues to be shaped by us as Christ followers. So I pray as you go into this week that you remember that you remember that you are somebody, and that God is using you, not just where you're at work or at home or with your family, with your friends, but also He's using you here to play a part in making God's kingdom grow at Switch. So I love you guys so much. I cannot wait to see you this Wednesday night. I pray I get to see you this Wednesday night. And we'll talk to you soon. Peace.